Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Live Rich Cheaply. Today we're going to continue our home gym build. This is going to be a build right around 1,200 bucks. Today we're going to focus on putting together our Ethos Power Rack 1.0 from Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a $700 rack, and it's a full-blown squat rack, and you can do all your bench press exercises using our bench that we put together last time. All right, we'll start off with box 1 of 3. Always want to cut away from yourself. This box, let me tell you guys, this one is heavy and awkward. Looks like they have little clues here, like left and front, help you put it together. All right, box number 1 included your verticals and looks like your feet. Looking over it, weld qualities look good. Don't see any shoddy welding or anything so far. Everything's heavy duty. Feels pretty heavy. Here's your pull-up bar, your multi-grip pull-up bar. Here's your safety pins, 1-inch diameter. So your rear pull-up bar or top cross brace. These look like the pipes for the pin and pipe safeties here. All right, let's take a look at this packaging real quick. You can see it's double wall cardboard, actually it's double walled. You can see that there's 2 layers. And they have wood at the bottom here. And everything is well packaged. I don't see a lot of scrapes or scuffs. I'm not worried about that anyways. It's going to get scrapes and scuffs. But if that's something you guys worry about, or everybody has their different preferences, everything seems to be well packaged and in good shape. All right, let's open up our 3rd and final box. Okay, it looks like here we got our bolt kit. And another one. Our instructions. Another bolt kit. Some doubler plates. Some more doubler plates. Here's your J hooks. Looks like these are tilt and pull off J hooks. The quality looks great, guys. They got wear pads in here, plastic wear pads to protect your bar. I mean, everything looks pretty good. There's like some safety pins. Here's a spotter arm, just like a J hook, except for a lot bigger. And it looks like it hooks in like this, comes down, and then there's a safety pin that's in that bag over there. I'll show you that a little bit later. But this is probably what I'm going to use to bench press outside the rack. Here's some more plates, gusset plates, putting things together. And the rest of this is basically more gusset, angled gusset plates for putting it together. Again, heavy duty packaging. Everything seems to appear in great shape. All right, to make room for the new rack, because it has a pull-up bar, I gotta get rid of my homemade one. Oh, I took some of the paint with it. Here's a quick shot of all the pieces laid out. This is always a good idea, is to lay out everything in a real organized manner so that you just save a lot of time having everything laid out ahead of time. So, and here's the feet, the pull-up bar, the back crossbars, and our bolts. So here's everything that's included. All right, let's get started throwing it together. All right, the instructions say you want to have 2 people. So we've got the lovely Kylie here. She's going to be my assistant. We're going to work together and get this thing built. All right, first thing we want to do, we're going to open up our instructions and look for a part sheet, make sure we've got everything. It's one of the benefits of laying everything out. All right, we've got all our pieces, so there's no trips to the hardware store. And we're going to start off with our first step here, which is going to be putting the base together. When you have a diagram like this, I don't know if you guys can see this, I like to just orientate the page in the same direction that I'm going to build the thing. So I'll lay it down like that. It makes it easier. All right, start looking for our pieces. One of them is labeled Ethos. The right one is labeled Ethos here. And it's labeled right. And here's a front sticker. It's not going to be a hole in the wall. All right, with punched pieces like this, when pieces are punched out like this, there's always a round edge where the punch came down. There's always a sharp edge where it popped out the other side. I like to put the round edge facing out where I might brush against it and stuff. So that's something to pay attention to. And then it's asking for part number 26, washer 27. All right, bolt number 26, washer number 27, and a nut. How many bolts do we need? 2 per side. It's going to be 2 washers per bolt. That's enough washers for this side. All right, looks like 19mm socket for the nuts and the bolt heads. 3/4 also fits pretty well since I don't have 2 of the same size. All right, when you're putting bolt assemblies like this together, don't ever tighten one bolt until you got them all started by hand, because you need to be able to wiggle all the assemblies together to line up the holes. Looks like, okay, so step 2, we need to put in 2 vertical posts in the back here. And looks like we're going to need a longer or a shorter bolt for the top here where it only goes through 2 plates, and a longer one where it goes through 3 down here. So it says for the bottom we need bolt number 26. So here's number 26 right here. We'll lay that out. Washers and nuts are all the same. And let's see here, for the top, this is bolt number 32. It's 26. Here it is. So 32 is slightly shorter, like 1/8 of an inch. And the washers and nuts are all the same. In the diagram, if you pay attention, you'll see that they have the highest hole is facing front to back. And if you look at this upright, here's the highest hole. So we want that front to back, just like the diagram. If you mounted it like this, you'd have trouble later on putting it together, and that's easy to do. So it's got to go like that. This is where you need 2 people, because somebody has to lift it and put it in place, and the other person has to feed the bolts through. We spread those 2 plates apart. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, honey. You want to feed the bolts. So the shorter bolt, like from the outside. So the shorter bolt goes on top. Beautiful. And wiggle it for you. Did it go through?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we'll just put our washers on here so we don't have any issues. I mean our nuts. Okay. Sure. You had nothing in the way this bolts together or anything. It looks flimsy at all. This is going to be a very strong rack. So we're just feeding the bolts in there loosely and putting the nuts on just finger tight so that nothing falls over and hits us in the head or bends over working on it. We use the right length bolts, huh? So step 2 is complete. Let's move on to step 3. All right, so that's going to be our vertical spacers, or our front to back spacers here. Number 4 braces, number 16 plates. So we need 2 of these, 1 on each side. And then let's lay out our bolts. Our bolts are going to be number 26s, which are right here. And right here. So we need 1 more 26. All right, let's see if this is symmetrical. Either side, everything looks the same, so it doesn't matter how we hang these. They go up here. Just like that. So you got to put your backer plate up there. So you're going to feed the bolt from the back to the front. Then all you're going to do is put a washer and a nut up there. Or can you reach? Perfect. Okay. All right, step 3. Still not tightening anything until we get it all squared up. All right, first things first, we're on step 4. We're going to need these braces and those feet. See what hole they're using. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So line up this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like right here. And what bolts on the bottom here? Says 32. Basically saying 32 all the way around. Are those 32s over there? Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's okay. All right. So the front hole here goes 7 holes back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to count that from the picture in the book. I think they could have simplified this whole thing by including just the longer bolt. It wouldn't have made a difference. 1/16 of an inch. You know what I mean? It would have stuck out like what, marginally, like 1 thread more. And the next step is going to be to put these verticals in. Let's do that. So highest hole towards the front, right here. Those same bolts are going to be used. Yeah, the shorter ones, I guess. Looks pretty good. Down there. From the outside down, you got it. You need to pick up the pole or anything? And wiggle this. Does that help? Let's get a washer on that, or not a washer on that before we lose that one. I think you got it figured out. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. We got bolts number 26s now. What size have you been using? 32s? All right, so 26 goes front to back with the backer plates up front here. All right, let me see. Let me see that backer plate. There, I got it. You see how I just put things together? They just kind of
once the other side was done.
They kind of just flow. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that. Let me see that bolt. All right. All right, let's look at the next step. Probably don't even need to tighten it up. Probably just go to town just like that.
We're done.
I'll just, let me load up the bar for you, and you could just go big right now. I'll go watch TV. Right, so now we got the back crossbar. We need backer plates on both sides. Let me see what size bolts. It's gonna be the one you have a lot of. It says bolts number 26 all the way around. So through the backer plate, yeah, there you go. 32s? Perfect. That's all we got left, right? Oh, good. I mean, I knew it'd work out fine. All right, I'll hold this up here. You gotta use your backer plate things. Oh, you know what? No. You must go back one more. Must have to go back here. On this side and one on the other side. And I'll take a look at the instructions. I assumed it would be the frontmost bolt, but I might have assumed wrong. Yep, it goes one hole back. So that makes sense. Second hole. Do we have leftover parts? No. Why'd they give us an Allen wrench? The Allen wrench must be for the wear pads or something. Well, we got the main assembly done. Now we got to square it all up and bolt her together. All right, what I'm going to do here as I tighten these up is I'm going to use this magnetic level to make sure everything's vertical. This floor is kind of uneven in here, and if you have an uneven or unlevel floor, this is an old house, it's kind of good to get it in the place where approximate place where you're going to use it, and then kind of tighten up the bolts there so it's vertical. Let me see how we're doing side to side. We'll have to push it this way a little bit to start tightening up these floor bolts. Tighten up the base bolts first. Now, would you pull this over just a little bit right here? Can you see the level? You can't. This way right here for you. So we're looking at this bubble. We want that one to be in the middle. So you're going to snug up the bolts a little bit, and then you can kind of tap the bars so that they're, or tap your uprights until they're close to level. That could have been bad news, huh? Is there any bolts left on loose at all? They should wiggle if they're loose because we only finger tight it. Well, that feels solid. There you go, guys. Solid rack. Should be pretty level now. Let me see that level. All right, we're level front to back. Pretty level side to side within the lines. Should say is good enough for government work. All right, that's between lines, between lines. Well, that's about it. All right, from the very back of the machine, would you hold the tape measure to the back there? From the very back of the machine to the front is 59.5, or just right around 5 feet. The width of the machine at the post is right around 4 feet, a little over. And the height from the floor to the top is 84.5 inches from the top of the bars. Is that about the highest point? Here, let's see here. Looks like 85 inches about. So, the your uprights are 3 by 3. The holes are 1 inch. The spacing is 3 inches on center. I can tell you the bottom hole is about 1 foot off the ground. Top hole, 66 inches off the ground. These holes lined up so you couldn't have something going through this way and this way at the same time. All right, let's take a look at one of these spotter arms. So that's how you install your spotter arms, is you just lift it up, guide it into the pin you want, drop it down, and then they give you these safety pins. Stick them across the back here. You're good. It's not going to go anywhere on you. Let's take a few measurements of that guy. This 19-inch cradle. Sticks out about 20 inches from the upright. So it's plenty big enough as a safety spot for bench pressing. If you want to do work outside the cage. And here's your J-hooks. J-hooks are just going to go on, rotate down. And these have these safety pins like this. These are magnetic. So those are going to shoot right in. J-cups are 6.5 inches tall, the cradle part, and they come out about 2.5 inches. Let's look at our pin and pipe safeties. All right, so you're going to pick, this is if you're working inside the cage. You're going to pick the hole you want to be safetied, and you're going to guide your pin through your pipe. Like that. And then they're going to give you a little miniature barbell clamp, and you're just going to put that on the back of the pin for safety so it doesn't accidentally pull out. All right, a lot of people will just use just the pins, but let me tell you something. This outside diameter being just that much larger is going to make it a lot stronger. You're going to want to use the pin and pipe. That way if you drop it down, it's less likely to bend and be stuck in your uprights. All right, there she is, guys, all put together. Sturdy as a rock. Let's take a look at a few things real quick. First, we got these spotter arms. If you want to work outside the cage, you can also move them to the inside of the cage. To move these, you simply pull this safety pin here, lift it up, pull it out. That's it. Take the pin back. So here's your J-cups. They come out, they've got a magnetic safety pin on the back here. It's probably a good idea to use those things, guys. You could just move it up there. You rotate it. That's it. Pick a different hole if you want. Put it in. That's it. All right, so pop our safety back in. Here's your J-cups. All right, here's your pin and pipe safeties. You have a little barbell type clamp here. You just pick the hole you want, guide them through the pipe, and that's it. That's your pin and pipe safeties. Put them just below your squat range. And then a couple other things I wanted to look at here. On some of these 3x3 systems, they'll use 1-inch bolts, right? Let me tell you, from an engineering perspective, that's just overdone. It's just not necessary. These are going to be just fine. 2 of these would hold up your truck, so you're not going to have an issue. The other thing I wanted to point out was this thing. Let me see if I can find a well-lit one. Another feature of this rack is that the feet, it's hard to see, but the feet have anchor points drilled in the bottom. And so you could go ahead and use like 3/8 red heads is what I would use if you're going to anchor them down to your concrete. But I will tell you, this thing is sturdy and it's heavy. I don't think you're going to need to bolt it down, but you may want to, and you're able to. And it looks like it's got holes along the feet here if you want to add resistance bands. And that's about it. You got your multi-grip pull-up bar. And you got a pretty fat bar back here. And if you wanted to, you could use this as just a log, like a log grip type pull-up bar. Everything is lined with plastic to protect your barbell, if you got a nice barbell. And well, that's about it, guys. All right, until next time, thanks for watching Live Rich Cheaply. Please subscribe and hit the bell. Really help out our channel. We can bring you more informative videos like this. Have a great day.